in Jacksonville, Florida, and got through college and law school at the University of Florida with scholarships and part-time jobs. Donna chose to make our community her home and began serving us in 1995 when she joined the state attorney's office prosecuting crimes for more than a decade, helping to keep our families and our community safe. Donna Gerner opened her own office in Altamont Springs in 2007 where she fought for people just like you in civil and criminal cases. She helped families keep their homes during the 2008 foreclosure crisis and has recovered more than $250,000 for families in personal injury cases. She has defended criminal cases and represented juveniles. She was also a certified family mediator and knows how to address divorces, child custody, child support, time sharing, and alimony issues. Donna Gerner has tried hundreds of cases before judges and juries across Central Florida and has been awarded for her outstanding trial skills. She is board certified in criminal trial law and is one of only 443 attorneys in the state of Florida who hold this distinction. This vast experience places Donna Gerner in the unique position of having litigated a wide array of legal issues on both sides of the courtroom. She knows how to balance the law on an individual basis with no bias or assumptions. She has also been a volunteer for Teen Court and has been recognized for her pro bono service to our community. Donna Gerner believes in equal justice under the law, and her service to our community over the last 24 years proves it. Donna Gerner has the qualities and experience to be our next circuit court judge.
Hi, my name's Donna Gerner, and I approve this message.
We need judges who work.
Hi, my name is Randy Foster. I'm running for Palm Bay City Council Seat 3. Leadership matters. If you want a future on Palm Bay, you got to elect a leader. And I'm the only one in my race that have federal, state, and local government experience as a leader, manage budgets over millions of dollars in the federal government. Also, experience matters. We cannot take a chance with inexperienced candidates getting on the city council. I have the experience, I have the leadership to get the job done on day one. What I'm going to be focusing on is infrastructure. It's very important. We need to strengthen our infrastructure to attract major business, grow our commercial business. We need to bring jobs into Palm Bay and help our small business. And integrity. No one has the integrity I has. 25 years in law enforcement, 25 years in the military, top secret clearance, background checks, you name it. We need a council that's going to end the corruption and the back dealings in the city council. So vote randyfoster.com, and I'll see you in November. Thank you.
How are you doing today? My name is Erikia Rafael, and I'm running for Palm Bay City Council Seat 2. I'm running to rebuilding the trust in Palm Bay City government, not taxing our residents out of their home, honoring the promise that we made to firefighters and police officers, creating a full functioning city government. And I'm asking you today, on August 18, 2020, vote for me, Erikia Rafael, because I am the change.
Hi Palm Bay, I'm Medina, your candidate for mayor. With your support, when elected, we will immediately move forward to take the necessary actions to restore transparency, to restore accountability, responsibility, and the respect of our beloved city. It's evident through recent audit findings and oversights meeting in Tallahassee that our city has engaged in financial decisions that clearly have put our citizens and our financial stability at risk. The headlines of our city once promoted a city that cares. Finalists for a City of the Year and a community with a great future. Now, today, the headlines promote our city as one with escalating crime, an interchange to nowhere, mismanagement, state-imposed audits, and playgrounds closing due to equipment being unsafe. We must stop this downward spiral of our once financially secured, beautiful community. We drive through flooded roads, potholes, and traffic jams. I pledge to you as your next mayor, I will shine light on these past budgets along with the poor decisions made so we can get the answers our citizens deserve and our state leaders demand. I encourage a forensic audit of all our city operations so we can bring all these things to light. This process will not be easy, but our future and that of our children depend on each and every one of us, ensuring accountability, ensuring professionalism, immediately replacing finger pointing, mismanagement, the rubber stamp process that brought this audit upon us. There are many serious questions. The business and residents of our cities deserve a government that they can trust and believe in. It is important to address these issues head on, for they've made a target of ridicule and skepticism from our surrounding neighbors and our very own residents. This will require strong leadership, transparent and sensible policy decisions, and constant commitment to ethical conduct. As mayor, my first goal will be to restore trust in our government. Government for the people, by the people. This is truly an opportunity for leadership by example. And as your mayor, I pledge to you that if I vote to approve a contract with a company to do business with our city, I will prohibit myself from receiving any future campaign funds from that said company. And I will encourage our council members to do the same. I believe as elected officials, we're held to a higher standard. The citizens of Palm Bay will be my only priority. We will address the many concerns of the finding of the state audit and encourage the open participation of our residents to provide oversight in our budget process. Hashtag the public trust. For a better Palm Bay, elect Rob Medina. May God bless you. May God continue to bless this great city we call Palm Bay. Hoorah! Hoorah!
Hats off to entrepreneurs. You bring value to our community by creating jobs and building wealth. Aspire Enterprise of Florida is your premier one-stop resource for strategic business coaching, business trainings, and business services. Our elite team of business professionals have over 30 years of expertise to serve small business owners, not-for-profit organizations, and individuals. Aspire Enterprise, where your needs are our priority.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hail at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled
Hello, good evening, everyone, and welcome to Palm Bay Life. And with me in the studio today is all the candidates that are currently on the platform, and I'm going to bring them up, and along with the moderators. So give me 1 second, and here they go as they appear. And as they appear, everybody can just say hello, and here we go. We have a full cast. Good evening, everyone, and welcome. And studio audience, please know that tonight we're not going to be able to take questions. The questions were submitted ahead of time. The panel, the moderators went through the questions and were able to cover exactly what it is that we are going to ask tonight. So, to be clear, the rules are of engagement tonight. Each candidate will have 2 minutes to introduce themselves, 2 minutes to answer each question, and 2 minutes for closing remarks. There will be no rebuttal options tonight. The rules have changed for tonight. I'm going to ask each candidate if you have or anyone that may have a phone on or something. There's some feedback that's occurring in the studio, so we're going to make sure that is diminished. So we're live. Your first online debate, and we're ready to go. And it is, was a lot of planning to get this put together. Please bear with us. I do have a clock that I'm working with for the timer. You will not be able to see it. The participants will be able to know when it's time is up, because we'll be giving them a warning as we get to the 15-second mark that your time is almost expiring, so they need to wrap it up. Any questions as we proceed? No questions from the candidates, so we're good to go. Okay, great. But before we go any further, I want to go through the moderators and make sure that they introduce themselves. So please go ahead. The moderators only. Ms. Bastion.
Hi, good evening, everybody. Thank you for joining us tonight. And I am Michelle Passion, past City Council member and president of Brevard County's National Organization for Women. So welcome, everybody.
Okay, great. Ms. Fisher?
Hi, my name is Kaori Fisher. I've lived in Brevard for 17 years and Palm Bay for 10. I'm originally from Japan and I became a citizen last year. So I also did Leadership Brevard 2020, class of 2020, best class ever. And I realized the importance of being involved in local politics. So I decided, when I was asked to participate in this, I decided it would be a good opportunity. So I'm excited to be here.
Awesome. And Ms. Valentino.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Dana Valentino. I'd just like to say good evening and thank you very much for this opportunity to allow me to be involved with our community politics and this evening's debate.
Awesome, great. And we lost one of our candidates. I'm trying to reach out back to her to see what exactly happened, and there she is. She's rejoining us. So we're going to get started, and I'm going to remove myself from the screen, and the first up is going to be and I'm going to remove the other moderators from the screen as well. So you will be able to see the candidates only on the platform, along with the person that's asking the question. So we're going to go in order of parents. I'm going to go with Ms. Bastion, and give me 1 second, because this is going to be a lot of toggling back and forth to get this done.
Let's don't forget the candidates are doing their 2-minute introductions.
Oh, yes. Thank you for reminding me. So I'm going to go ahead and let's start with Ms. Erikia Rafael. Go ahead and introduce yourself to the platform.
Hi, everyone. Do you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yes. Hi, my name is Erikia Rafael. I've been a Palm Bay resident for the past 15 years. A little bit about myself. I'm a mom to 4 children, a wife, a basketball coach, and a licensed insurance agent. And the reason I got into this, because I've always been an advocate for my community, and I felt like this would just be another level to be the voice for the voiceless. So I'm looking forward to serving Palm Bay residents. So here I am.
Awesome. Mr.
Filiberto.
Yes, sir.
Hey, Kevin, I just want to thank you for playing the national anthem before this broadcast. That was touching, sir. Haven't heard that in a very long time. So thank you. My name is Pete Filiberto. I'm running for Palm Bay City Council seat number 2. I was born, raised, and educated in Palm Bay, Florida. I graduated Bayside High School. I was also a graduate of Florida International University. I have a bachelor's degree in political science. While I was down there for college, I worked for a municipal government for over 8 years, 4 in law enforcement as a civilian. I'm running for city council, not for personal gain, but to bring the city back into residents' hands. This is your city. It is time to remove the limits placed on you as a resident or as a citizen of Palm Bay, and it's time to recognize the powers of you as a resident.
Thank you,
Thank you, Kevin.
Mr. Felix, you can go ahead, sir.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Donnie Felix. I'm a longtime resident of the great city of Palm Bay. I'm a father, a man of faith, a family man, been married with my wife for over 21 years. I am jumping into this because for just like many of us, our city's been tarnished. The image of our city is being tarnished. My experience in servicing this community goes a long way, over 8 years. I'm the longest member of the Park and Recreation. I currently serve as vice chairman. I serve on the Planning and Zoning Board. I also serve on a county board as well. So I'm jumping in to make a difference. Really, I don't like the direction our city is going. I jumped in to make a difference, to really help the image, the brand that we all love. I want to make a difference, moving it forward in the right direction. Thank you.
Okay, great. Thank you. Ms. Wright, I think she's having technical difficulties. We're trying to sort it out in the back end, but her computer is frozen. Ms. Wright, can you hear us at all?
There she is.
Ms. Wright? Okay.
Isabel, can you hear us? Can she call in instead, maybe?
Okay. Okay, call me. All right, we're going to sort it out. Let me go ahead and have Ms. Passion start the line of questioning, and then we will take it from there.
All right, thank you so much. And again, welcome candidates. And as you all know, we've talked about the issues of corruption in the city of Palm Bay, and we have had quite the last few years. And it is something we need to talk about, this corruption. So we'd like to know, do you have any plans to help us get past what has tarnished the city of Palm Bay? So I'm going to start going first with Erikia. What do you can do to help us get past the corruption issues?
My goal in regards to tackling this corruption issue is to have a Inspector General office located at the City Hall and to have an FBI agent on site. That is the only way we're going to be able to target this issue. This is the reason that our citizens do not trust us. This is the reason why we have this corruption in the city. This is the only way we're going to be able to attack it. Have a Inspector General at the City Hall, have an FBI agent on site at all times. So so we could be able to strengthen the whistleblower protection. So if they get any form of and if somebody submitted something in regards to, hey, regarding to a bad apple, exposing a bad apple, that FBI agent right then and there can investigate it and expose it. That FBI agent will be our watchdog for the city of Palm Bay. They will be able to overlook everything for us. So that is my goal, to have a Inspector General located at the City Hall and to be able to have an FBI agent at the City Hall at all times. That is the only way we're going to be able to tackle this, and that is the only way we're going to be able to regain the trust between our Palm Bay citizens.
Thank you, Ms. Rafael. And I can go now to Donnie Felix. Would you like to answer the same question? How do you plan to oversee any past corruption issues?
No, absolutely. I truly believe, city staff. I believe we are very fortunate to have good staff member, people that really goodwill, that have goodwill, that want to serve this city. Unlike Ms. Erikia, I don't believe we need. In fact, we want to keep federal agents away from us, state and federal. We want to keep them away as far as possible. So I think the city, we're on a good path. We have an opportunity. People are probably, we have an opportunity to elect a new council. This is the first time in the history of the city where we can elect a brand new council, 3 new members. I'm getting some feedback. Can everybody hear me? Fine?
Yeah, there's a lot of feedback. I'm not sure if Kevin can get that taken care of. Do you want to continue? And then
Yeah, go ahead. Just go ahead.
Oh,
Okay.
sorry.
So what I was saying is, I believe we're heading in the right direction. We have an opportunity. The citizens of Palm Bay have an opportunity to elect a new council with 3 new members, with Kenny Johnson being Deputy Mayor Kenny Johnson being here in 2 years. Fairly brand new council. We can start with a clean start. I believe what's important with the citizen of Palm Bay is to make sure, let's look at the people you elect. Let's look at their background, their experience. Don't just elect anybody. So it's very important that I think with the choice we have, with the direction we're getting, I think we can easily get past that. What's important is, for me, to answer the question, I think transparency is going to be very important. Transparency is going to be key. I want to make sure I stay in touch with my constituents on a quarterly basis, have town hall, make sure I stay in touch with the folks that elect me in. Keep an open door policy. In fact, it won't be no door for me. That's how I view it. Transparency with staff, transparency with the constituents, and we'll be fine. I truly believe in the city of Palm Bay. I believe with new council going in, with me going in as a positive, individual, helpful type of guy. I believe we don't need no FBI or any of that crazy stuff in our city.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Felix. And Isabel, can you hear us?
1 second, Ms. Passion.
Okay, then I'm going to go to Mr. Filiberto, and then we'll come back to Isabel. Mr. Filiberto, same question.
Thank you. Donnie Felix spoke of the city being tarnished. Ms. LaFell spoke, trust us, and that she's going to put an FBI agent in the Palm Bay City Council, Palm Bay City Hall. I can tell you, working for the federal government, FBI agent will not be stationed at Palm Bay City Hall. Ms. LaFell and Mr. Felix have been involved in Palm Bay City politics for the past 3 or 4 years. Mr. Felix is a member of the Planning and Zoning Board. Ms. LaFell is a part of the Infrastructure Advisory Oversight Board. Me, I'm a resident. I put my name on the ballot to end corruption, and that's it. I'm not going to look into Palm Bay's past. I am looking to put Palm Bay into the future. I have a plan for the future of Palm Bay. I'm not going to use political capital 4 years to dig into Palm Bay's past. You need to forget about that. We got shafted. Sorry. Let's move into the future. Thank you. Sorry.
Thank you. And Isabel, can you hear us? Can she hear us?
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Oh, yes, perfect. Thank you. I'm not sure if you got to hear the question, so I'm going to repeat it. And thank you for getting here. What do you plan on? Can you hear me okay?
I didn't get a chance to introduce myself to the community, so if you give me a second, I'll be real quick.
Yes, the question is, what would you plan to do to oversee any of the past corruption issues?
Well, first of all, I'd like to apologize to everybody for having all the technical difficulties. Money for Palm Bay too.
You're still having some issues. I can't hear you.
Issue with that corruption. Very simple. People accountable. Both for people already outspoken.
Yeah.
Her video.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on because I didn't have issues before.
Yeah, you're having issues with
Oh,
your mic there.
Can you hear me? Not hear me? I'll just remove myself so that. No, I'm not having issues with I'm sorry, Kevin. I'm not having issues with my system. Actually, I think it's your system that's having issues with me. But we can agree to disagree. You tell me what you want to do. I don't want to be going back and forth and taking away from this debate.
Okay.
Is there another way for me to log in? Or
can she call in?
Or what? Because it's ridiculous. I mean,
have
had no meeting today.
Yeah.
So,
Can you
what would you like me to?
Please call me on the phone. We'll talk about it. Call me on the phone.
Okay, well, that's too bad. See, can she call in?
Yeah, let's.
All right, I'm going to continue. The next question was, would you consider a forensic audit of the city? And I'll go first to Erikia Rafael.
Yes. Yes, I will.
You want to elaborate on anything? You have some time.
No.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. No problem. Thank you. Mr. Filiberto.
No, I do not agree with the forensic audit. I trust FDLE and the FBI will handle this situation. A forensic audit is only going to cost the taxpayer money. So that is the reason why I am against a forensic audit. I know the city has done an estimate on a forensic audit and it's just north of $200,000. So I'm not for a forensic audit, and that is the reason. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. And Mr. Felix.
I would support it. I would support it for the simple fact, I think out of fairness to your new council, that having a clean slate to move forward, as I mentioned before, I think it's a great opportunity to have a brand new council to move forward. I think it's only fair for the new member to start with a clean slate. I think there's some in the past audits that are done with the jail act in reference. There's a lot that didn't get addressed. It wasn't so much of an in-depth audit. It was more of administrative, touch on some of the administrative aspect of things. I would encourage it. I think it's only good to really give us an opportunity to give us a new ground to move the city in the right direction. And that would also help our citizens as well. Really put that past behind us. And I'm all about moving forward, a lot like Mr. Filiberto, but I think it's important to really make sure we stepped on the right step as we get ready to move forward.
All right. Well, thank you all, candidates. Yes, you have
I wanted
some
to
more
clarify
time.
on something. I wanted to clarify my very first comment. I wanted to clarify that I want an Inspector General office at the City Hall, not an FBI agent. So I just wanted to clarify that and make sure that's notated. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. And I think we're going to go back to Kevin, and Kevin is going to have our next moderator, Kaori. We'll do some questions on infrastructure. And as soon as Kevin gets back on, Kevin.
About economic development. So my first question is, how will you bring new businesses, large and small, to Palm Bay, and how would you offer? What kind of incentives would you offer? So go to Mr. Filiberto first.
Thank you. Bringing new businesses to Palm Bay. We do have the new interchange out there. Last 90 feet is being completed as we speak. There's going to be over 100 acres of commercial. Bringing new businesses in, such as TJ Maxx, everything like that, could be a mini Vieira. As for small startups here in Palm Bay, I would like to see the road off Robert J. Conlon, Kirby, utilized more. Some tech places, robotics, et cetera. We have all the equipment here. We have the land. We have the industrial area. Let's put the people to work.
Very good. Thank you. All right, Mr. Felix, go ahead. What kind of incentives you offer? How would you bring new businesses to Palm Bay?
My approach would be a slightly different, more strategic. We have to have a plan. We have to have a plan. One of the fortunate opportunity I have is serving on the Planning and Zoning Board. I think we must have a plan. Planning accordingly, have a comprehensive plan. How are we going to assist big and small businesses? one of the things for small businesses is to how can we equip the existing small businesses through our chamber, whether it's through our chamber, okay, equip them with opportunities in terms of information, really how they can expand on what they already have, and create a way to. I live in South Florida for many years. One thing that's missing here is those moms and pops where we have an advantage where we have a very diverse community. How can we attract a good Bahamian or Haitian restaurants? How can our chamber that is part of the city budget, we're paying this entity to really help these businesses. So that as far as small businesses, that's I'd like to see more of that, more in a way where we can help them grow or flourish. For big businesses, to me, it's not just about giving a big businesses, big organization incentive to come to our city. It has to make sense for the taxpayer. Yes, I don't believe in giving the kitchen sink just because you bring a big business here. It has to make sense. Yeah, we can sit down and talk, but it has to make sense for both entities: the city, the citizen of Palm Bay, the taxpayers that we're responsible for, and also that entity that comes. It has to make sense. But first of all, it's really being ready. Have a comprehensive plan. Look at the area. Get ready first. Get all zoning in order. Get a comprehensive plan in different quadrant of the city. And then go out and find those businesses.
All right. Well, thank you for the response. Okay. Ms. Rafael?
Yes. My biggest concern at this moment is we have small business who are currently struggling. They're struggling to stay open. So my goal is I would like to see what is it that we could do to help them maintain open. Because I know a lot of small business owners and they're struggling right now, especially with this COVID-19. So my goal will be looking into what is it that we could do to help them retain and stay open.
So more focus on existing businesses and
correct.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Thank you very much. So I guess I have one more question. Well, that kind of leads into the next question. How can you help support local businesses, especially now that are struggling with the COVID-19 and what's going on right now? Mr. Filippo, do you have any ideas?
Yes, thank you. I'm surprised to see Mr. Felix bring up the comprehensive plan. He continues to violate it. I just want to read one blurb here from the comprehensive plan. The city shall not approve extension of urban growth beyond areas that cannot be served by public service and utilities. Mr. Felix continues to approve zoning and approve places off the interchange and elsewhere that our police is strapped. They are scarce and they're not able to provide services to those areas. As for small businesses, COVID-19, there's the PPP out there. The federal government is jumping in, as well as the state government. And as far as the city is concerned, we can assist small businesses in applying for those grants by the federal and state governments. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much. Mr. Felix, ideas for supporting the small businesses struggling with COVID?
I'm not quite sure what Mr. Filiberto is talking about in terms of me approving this or that or mention comprehensive plans. I think the way forward for city is to Mr. Filiberto, if you have any ideas to how we can help our tax base, increase our tax base.
We can begin by adhering to the provisions of the comprehensive plan, starting off with transportation, fire and police.
I'm talking. I was talking. That was my turn.
Oh, I thought you asked me a question. I'm sorry about that, sir. Go ahead.
No, I didn't. No, but I'm not quite sure how the comment you made earlier. I'm not quite sure. But if you understand, so as far as to move our city forward, we need to increase. We need to find ways to encourage new businesses to come to our city. That's one way forward to move our city. So to answer your question specifically is ideas to help our existing businesses. Yes, there's potential grant, as Mr. Filiberto mentioned, due to COVID-19, there is help available funneled through our county, working with our county leaders to really help our city. But in fact, in order for us to move forward, we need to find ways to attract new businesses to our city.
Thank you, Mr. Felix. Anything else you want to add, Ms. Lafayette?
Yes, in order to find out what is it that these current business need is to actually go out there and have a conversation with them. A lot of these current business that are open, they're not aware. The owners are not aware that they can apply for grants. So let's go have a open conversation with them. Let's go hear about their needs, and let's figure something out to be able to help them. If it comes to helping them out, applying for grants, let's do that. But my goal is to make sure that we help these small local business that are current open. Let's make sure that they stay open.
Thank you all so much for your answers. The next question, I'm going to hand it over to Dana.
Good evening, everybody.
Dana, good evening.
Okay, so we're going to jump into a category that I think is very important. It's how we spend taxpayer dollars. We're going to talk about the budget a little bit. First question is, if you are elected, what steps would you take to help our city become financially stable? And I would like to start with Mr. Felix, please.
One area that I would look at is to me, it's probably one of the department that produce a lot of revenue for our city is our building department. And I can tell you firsthand, I have my share of experience with the building department because I build, okay? And I currently work for a company as well that is probably one of the most producing roofing company in the city. We got our share of experience with that. I would certainly, and I can promise, I would certainly, that's one area I would be looking at, how we can streamline. If today you need a permit for a brand new roof from the county, within 5 minutes, as a contractor, you can get it. But our department, and nothing against staff, by the way, I love the staff. I think they're trying the best, but we need to look at our process. From the county, within 5 minutes, you can get a permit. From our city, we're looking at 48 hours, and you have to bring a stack of paper that big. Why in 2020? Why is it that way? So I think in many ways, what we do in our building department, for instance, I'm just using that as an example. This is one department I think that can do a lot better if we can look at our process, the way we do business, the way we do things, and if we can streamline, things will be a lot easier. We can produce a lot, help our developers, help our builders, streamline the process, makes it a lot more attractive for people to come in and build and grow and develop in our city. I'm just using that as an example. That's one department. I'm sure there's a lot of other opportunities, other areas that we can improve. I'll just stop there. Give
right.
the other
Mr. Felix,
opportunity.
Appreciate it. Thank you. Mr. Filiberto, same question.
Dana, if you could please repeat the question, if you don't mind. Sorry about that.
Repeat the question?
Yes, sir.
Okay. If you are elected, what steps would you take to help our city become financially stable?
All right. I'm already taking those steps, which both candidates here have failed at. I've been going to budget workshops, working with city council and city officials directly. I worked with this previous city manager where she spoke of a zero-based budget. That's a good starting point. I will continue to go to council workshops as I have, and we'll see what we can come up with. But there is a crisis in the budget, and I'm working on it, sir. Thank you.
Gotcha. Okay, and Ms. LaFell, please.
Yes, Houston, Texas have 2.3 million people, and they adopted a zero-based budget. And that will be my goal for Palm Bay, for us to adopt a zero-based budget as well. So if Houston, Texas could do it, Palm Bay could do it.
Very well. Okay, next question. What are your plans for dealing with the expensive and continually growing costs of the pension and retirement for police and fire? And this one can go to Ms. LaFell first.
Well, first and foremost, my goal will be to meet with the city attorney and other council member just to take a look at it and see what is it that we could do to maintain it. I feel like it's extremely important that we keep that because we have these firefighters and police officers putting their life on the line every single day. So we need to make sure that their family are taken care of.
Mr. Felix.
Repeat the question for me, Dana, please.
Okay, this is kind of a long question here. So, what are your plans for dealing with the expensive and continually growing cost of the pension and retirement for fire and police?
I agree a lot with Ms. LaFell. I believe these are the ones that protect us. They're here to serve and protect us. We need to make sure they're taken care of. My understanding, Palm Bay is in the bottom as far as the county, our county, and our state in terms of pay. Our department is not looking very attractive to attract new police officers in terms of the pay. The only bargaining, the only thing they can leverage is the pension plan. So we want to make sure we take care of it. We keep that, and we encourage it. We help it. However, we can assist them to maintain that. We need to do everything we can to take care of those that take care of us. This is really the only thing they have in essence, to attract new and retain the existing officers. So I don't think we need to mess with that none whatsoever.
Very good. Mr. Filiberto, do you need me to repeat the question again, or do you have this one?
No, sir. Thank you, Dana. When it comes to the pension, I discussed with fellow police officer or other police officers, Palm Bay police officers, that it will not be touched. I recommended that we go to the FRS plan. I was scolded for it. We do have a deficiency there, lacking. Right now, we have about over 10 applications. We need 10 officers. And that application has been on the website for months. We've only had one person apply. So there is a lacking there, and it needs to be addressed. And I'm with Mr. Felix. It does start with starting pay as well as some policies that the Palm Bay PD implement. Thank you, sir.
Very good. Okay, this is all the questions I have for the budget. I believe Ms. Fisher is coming back on for the next round. Thank you, guys.
Okay. Before I get Ms. Fisher back on, I want to ask the candidates a lightning round question, if it's possible. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, awesome. So you're going to have 1 minute to answer this question. And so here it goes. How do you plan to bring together the community through these challenging social and economical times? And start with Ms. Erikia Rafael.
First and foremost, we need to start having some serious conversation. We need to stop throwing these hardcore conversation under the rug. Our city, our country, United States of America, we're in a crisis. And the only way we're going to start the healing process by starting to have some hardcore, serious conversation. So that's my goal, to have these hardcore, serious conversation in order for us to move forward.
Okay. Pete, Roberto?
Yes, thank you, Kevin. I feel that recreation has a part to do with it. If you look at the Olympics, that brings unity to all countries, all 180 of them, just north of 180. I feel that if Palm Bay brought back the Palm Bay Superstars, which we used to have in the 90s, kids from age 4 to adults to age 70 competing against each other to see who is the best for Palm Bay, I believe that will bring unity in the community at large, as well as my thoughts on council, addressing every public comment and listening to residents and what they have to say. That will bring unity in the council chambers. Thank you very much, sir.
Okay. Felix.
Both candidates just saying that's something they're going to do, but unfortunately for me, I've been doing that the last 10 years. If anyone knows me, I'm a great unifier. I bring the community together through my events, the activities I've been doing. I stepped in and served. I stepped in and served since 2008. I have been through the churches, And that's what I bring people together. I bring city government. I bring organizations, whether it's the school board, from the police chief, or the mayor. That's what I've done. I've had those conversations. We brought in the last 12 years. So my opponents are talking about what they will do or that they intend to do. Mr. Filbert talked about superstars. We don't have many. Last I checked in Palm Bay,
Wow,
but
you want to say that about residents? You think there's no superstars in Palm Bay?
I've been in the trenches the last 12 years doing just that, and I will continue to do that with or without the title.
Felix,
So,
thank you for
Mr. Felix, you don't think there's any talent in Palm Bay, do you?
Oh, I believe there's plenty.
Interesting.
Let's go to Ms. Fisher. We're going to put Ms. Fisher back on the screen for her line of questioning.
All right. So thank you, candidates. Our next category is infrastructure. So I would like to ask, what do you see as a priority when it comes to the city's infrastructure? We'll start with Mr. Felix.
Priority, I tell you what, I want to say, kudos to Kevin. Kevin and I had a great conversation about a year plus ago, and where we started the movement for the municipal bond to fix the road. Kudos to you, sir, for your leadership there. We're just going to build on that. What's been done by the great, when many even elected officials did not believe that was possible. People like Kevin, myself, I took it and ran with it. Within my community, I'd advocate for it for a long time. Today, we have $150 million, and we'll get our road fixed over the next 2 or 3 years. So we just got to continue to that and make sure, now that we have the road bond passed, to have that maintenance fund, and make sure it's protected, make sure it's funded appropriately. And as a new council, I will do just that. I will make sure that road maintenance fund is taken care of. And the other aspect, it's not just road. I think there's many other infrastructure aspects that we need to look at in terms of our sewer. We had the opportunity to speak with the director of our utility. There's a great need. We need to look into that city water issue, and also make sure street light. It's a big thing for me. I think the security aspect, we need to, on day one, I will hopefully bring FPL to the table to have a conversation about how we can lit up our street.
All right, thank you, Mr. Felix. Ms. Rafael, what do you see as a priority for the city's infrastructure?
What I see as the priority, I feel like our biggest issue is we have a lot of empty lot within our city limits that we haven't built on. What we're currently doing is we're building community at the edge of the city. Then we have infrastructure that we can't even maintain. I feel like we should focus on building on the empty lot that's within the city limit, that we all utilize those infrastructure that will save the city money, that will save Palm Bay resident money. So that's my proposal in regards to infrastructure.
Thank you very much. Mr. Filiberto, your priority.
Priority, thank you. I have a plan on my platform for infrastructure, and my mission is to institute a portal on the city's website that will allow residents to report any non-emergency services, whether it's tree trimming, their soil needs to be retrenched or what have you. I believe this will save time and resources over the long term for tracking and maintenance of our infrastructure. I would also like to discuss the road bond. I said in a previous interview with Kevin that I have a plan to pave every road in Palm Bay in 20 years, and I do. And I'm going to unveil that plan just now. So my plan starts with gathering all the homeowners association presidents and each representative from every unit in Palm Bay. With residents in mind, a lottery will be held. The unit representatives will pick from a hat in the lottery, the units will pick from the lottery and have a designated representative, and the roads will be once that lottery is picked, the representative will choose which roads are going to be picked from the unit. This plan would be paid for by already existing taxes. We pay a fuel tax And then we also pay a current road maintenance fund, which is funded. So the fuel tax is estimated to be $3 million a year, and the RMF right now sits at about $3 million. The key aspects to this plan, it will not replace the road bond program. What happens when a unit is slated for the road bond and when they win the lottery? I know politicians. What happens is they will decide, hey, let's replace the lottery or let's choose a new lottery winner. No, you supplement. You do not replace. So that is my road plan, and I'll have it drawn out and I'll put it on my website for y'all. Thank you. Very interesting.
Thank you. Okay, I have one more question about infrastructure. So in light of the many issues with the Parkway and I-95 project, what would you have done differently, and what will you do for the future if you're elected? So we'll start with Mr. Felix.
Palm Bay citizen, did you guys, I hope you pay attention to Mr. Filiberto's plan. That is the craziest thing I've ever heard. I just wanted to mention that. 20 years.
I have dreams, sir. I have dreams.
Not good. You're going to wait 20 years and hopefully your name would be pulled. This is the ridiculous thing. We deserve better. Palm Bay, you deserve better. Come on now. But anyway, to answer your question.
Felix, I'm thinking about our children and grandchildren here. I'm not thinking about myself.
Crazy. This is crazy, people. I just wanted to answer your questions. Goes back to go back to the
my plan got you, didn't it? My plan got you, buddy.
Come on.
You're fascinated by it. I know. It's okay. It's okay, but you're fascinated by my plan. I know. It's all right.
We can.
Sorry, Kevin.
Don't talk over each other. Let him
That's crazy. You couldn't even articulate it. It's your plan. It's so crazy.
I know. I have to draw it up better. I'm sitting here and I think I needed a glass of water. Thank God someone brought it to me.
Would you repeat the questions to me, please?
Yes, in light of the many issues with the Parkway I-95 project, what would you have done differently, and what will you do for the future if you're elected?
I think it's call it out. There's no time for partisanship. Part of what happened to Palm Bay the last couple of years, you're seeing county leaderships playing politics, and I think we need to. As I call myself, I want to believe I can unify. I can bring people together. That whole partisan politics needs to stay. We need to go far from that. I believe what happened with that is a little bit of that played to that whole Parkway issue. That's why today we still don't have an exit. I'm a great advocate. I live within a couple of miles from that highway. I mean, I can't wait. I couldn't wait. But it's sadly enough. That Parkway cannot open. I think a lot of it has to do with partisanship, politics. We need to keep that away. The citizen of Palm Bay deserve better. We need to go in and work for the citizen of Palm Bay, regardless of our party affiliation. I think a lot of it is that what I can bring, I would work with both parties, regardless. We need to put party aside, and that's my message. And going into on the dais. And we need to do it. I'm tired of the 3-2s. I need to see where a council will get together and work together for the citizen of Palm Bay.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Felix. Mr. Filiberto, what about the Parkway 95 project?
The Parkway. Well, we have two people here that were part of the Infrastructure Advisory Oversight Board and the Palm Bay Planning and Zoning Board, but they're talking about the Parkway. The Parkway, what I would have done different is I would have selected new leadership. New leadership in the Planning and Zoning Board, new leadership in the Oversight Committee. Also, I would select a new leadership in the City Manager's office. The City Manager was not holding the contractor accountable, and that's why we have a delay. And Melbourne also started their interchange, before us and finished before us. Started their interchange after us and finished before us. That's not right. Thank you.
For sure. All right, Ms. Rafael. Your thoughts on the Roadway?
What I would do in the future, I would like to look at the builder plans and see how is it going to benefit us as a city. So that's something I'm looking forward to looking into. If we're going to have builders come in here, we got to get something in return. They just can't be building and our roads are not fixed and whatnot. So what is it that we could benefit as a city from these builders? So that is my plan.
Okay. Thank you very much. I'm going to hand this off to Ms. Castillo for the next bit of questions.
Okay, before Ms. Bastión comes back on, I have another lightning round question. And so the candidates, please listen up for the question. How will you communicate with Palm Bay residents in order to represent them instead of making decisions based on your own opinions?
As I've been doing, again, unlike my opponents, they just show up. Mr. Philibert just show up out of nowhere. But unlike a proving leader that's been here over 12 years serving this community, that's what I've been doing, Kevin, as you know, really through my town halls for the last few years, quarterly town halls, informing my community, staying in touch with my community. In fact, one of the things I will do when I elected is to, if I get the opportunity to serve on council, is to have quarterly town halls and a focus group on different topics. I will legislate, I will serve, I will bring up items based on what I get, the feedback I get from my constituents, and that will be my model. Quarterly, forum, quarterly town halls, and I will have focus group a different level of a different segment of the community.
Okay, sir, your time is up. Mr. Filiberto.
Thank you, Kevin. Mr. Felix claims that I show up out of nowhere. He doesn't show up at all. I've been to every single council meeting since I've announced. Even before then, I've been going to council meetings. I've been going to workshops. Donnie Felix has been missing in action. Same with Erikia. I pride myself in having 100% response rate to all residents. And that's everybody on Facebook, through email, through telephone, through text message. I respond to everybody, and I will continue to do so. Thank you, Kevin.
Okay.
First and foremost, I've been giving back to my community for the past 4 years. I'm a volunteer basketball coach. You get so involved in regards to the community and talking to parents, coaching their kids. I've been giving back since day one. So I don't need to prove nothing to nobody, because anybody knows me, knows my heart, first and foremost. Second of all, I look forward to having town hall meetings to be able to engage with the community, because that's the only way we're going to be able to understand what are their struggle, what is it that they expect from us, to be able to have that open dialogue. And that's what I'm looking forward to do.
Okay, great. Thank you. All right.
I'm back. Before I go into my question, I just wanted to let you know that I heard from the current sit-in city manager, and that the Parkway actually is supposed to open up by August. So let's hope and pray, because we do need it. All right, let's go to my question for the candidates. Some of you may or may not know, when I was on council, one of the most important things to me is my community being fed? Is my community have a home? I did a lot of more of the touchy-feely good stuff is what I was involved in. And right now I've been helping local advocate for homelessness, Thomas Redmond, and we've been helping feed some of these homeless camps and supplies. And I say God bless to Thomas for getting out there and telling people about this. So my question is, with over 30 plus homeless camps and new homeless people because of the economic times that are going on right now, what would you do to try to help the community in regards to homelessness? And I'll start with Erikia, please.
In regards to homelessness, I'm doing it already. I just don't promote it. My local church that I attend gives out food. I go and grab the food. I provide it to my local neighbors who are in need. I provide any information that they need of. So I've been giving back and advocating since day one. I just don't have a camera in my face always promoting what I'm doing. So anybody who knows me on a personal level knows that's something I've been doing for many years.
Thank you, Ms. LaFell. And I will go to Mr. Filiberto.
Thank you very much, Michelle. I have spoken to Mr. Redmond about this once or twice, let's just say that. This is a new issue to Palm Bay. I am trying to research solutions for this. Mr. Redmond is very knowledgeable on the homeless case. I take advisement from him and advisement from others. I would like to see what the citizens and what the residents have for ideas on the homelessness. And in all honesty, I'm not an expert in it, but I know others out there in the city of Palm Bay are, and I'm willing to listen to them. Thank you very much, Michelle.
Thank you, Mr. Filiberto. And Mr. Felix, you'll be next about the homelessness in Palm Bay.
Mr. Filiberto think it's new. It's something new to Palm Bay. This is not new. That's old stuff. I mean, it's just never been to the forefront as it is right now. I want to say thank you to Mr. Redmond for really stepped in and really showing up and really fighting. One of the things I certainly would like to and him and I have many conversations. We as a new council, I think that's an issue we need to take care of. It's an issue of importance. We need to bring the players, the major players in the city. The churches. We got many churches, many major churches in the area, and the private sector. With the city, I think it should be a trio of the city helping out, the businesses, and the churches. Let's sit down together with the three major sectors and see how we can solve that problem. It's certainly a problem. It's a humanitarian problem. We certainly need to address it. As you can see, Mr. Filiberto has no clue. So
Mr. Felix, have you spoken to Mr. Redmond personally?
Can we go back and forth with each other? You're wasting time for more questions, gentlemen. Did I get everybody on that question? Did I get everybody? I assume so. Nobody's answering. Okay. There are homeless camps. The city has at certain times moved the homeless camps and evicted them. How do you feel about that? And I'll start, Mr. Filiberto.
Yes, I know one homeless camp was recently replaced or removed, whatever you want to call it. And that was just north of Hurricane Car Wash, or excuse me, just west of it. They do plan on having a development there. Again, I take any advisement from the citizens, from Mr. Redmond, from you, Michelle, if you have any ideas, and even Mr. Felix. Mr. Felix has some great ideas up there when it comes to getting the churches involved and getting residents involved to solve this problem. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And we'll go to Erikia Rafael.
Can you repeat that question, please?
There are homeless camps. There's 30 plus homeless camps, and there have been incidents where the city of Palm Bay has evicted them from a certain land. I know that they are probably trespassing, but we have a homeless problem. We need to figure it out. What would you do about these homeless camps?
This is the time that we shouldn't be evicting anyone right now, especially with the circumstances that we are right now. With people losing their job and COVID-19 and unemployment, this is just wrong timing. So my goal will be I would love to speak to the person who's have more knowledge about this and ask them, what is it that I could do to be able to help out?
Thank you. And Mr. Felix.
And I do agree. During the times of the trial times, this is not the time to displacing, anybody. This is a very vulnerable community. We have a responsibility as human beings and as leaders to make the right decision. I think before we displace them, it had to be a plan in place. We should be reaching out to work with our county. We should be reaching out and work with our Melbourne, our sister city next door. And it's very unfortunate. Palm Bay is such a large city. We don't have, I don't believe, to my knowledge, I don't think we have one homeless shelter. Something is wrong. Something is wrong. Something we are not doing right. So we need to really give this some serious attention. Whatever it takes. This will be a subject of importance for me. It is a subject of importance, and I will be joining forces with whomever to come to bring some solutions.
Okay, thank you all, and I think Kevin's going to bring in our next moderator, or unless he has a lightning question for you.
Hi guys, I'm back. All right, listen up for this question. You're gonna love this one. We currently have a surplus, right? So if you were given $1 million to spend, what would you spend it on? If you were given,
If I can elaborate, is this personal use or is this if the city was given $1 million?
City, yeah.
Well, I would spend it on, I'll build a homeless shelter.
Okay.
That's what I'll do.
All right, Mr. Filiberto.
No, I would use it to supplement my road plan that Donnie Felix doesn't like.
Okay, Mr. Felix.
Mr. Phil, I love the idea. $1 million, it's quite a bit of money. I would certainly look at infrastructure. I would look at infrastructure. How can we improve our infrastructure, and really including the homeless shelter?
Okay. All right, great. Mr. Dana has some questions for you.
Good evening again, folks. So this round of questions we have is for the future of Palm Bay and your personal visions. Okay. I'd also like to keep in mind that all of these questions were submitted by residents of Palm Bay. They weren't calculated by us as a board. They were sent in via email, Facebook Messenger, phone calls. So these really do represent what the citizens are asking for their elected officials on what your vision is for the future of Palm Bay. I have 3 questions. So if we can make sure we stay on track and keep our keep our answers moving so I can get through all 3 questions, I appreciate it. The first question is, what do you see as the greatest issue for Palm Bay, and how do you plan to address it? I'd like to start with Ms. LaFell, please.
Right now, the biggest issue is people losing their job in COVID-19. Right now, at this current moment. So my biggest thing is testing, providing assistance to help them apply for unemployment, show them what is it that they could do to apply for new job. So that will be something I'll look forward to getting that accomplished.
Thank you very much. Mr. Felix, same question.
Wow, there's so many of them, but the affordable housing to me, it's definitely top priority. Right now we have family, not just even before COVID-19, a typical family making $12 an hour, husband and wife can afford a decent place to live. Well, the affordable housing would be important to really, again, work with developers that are willing to come in and bringing a diverse. So one thing we have a lot of single families, not enough diverse, housing. So we need to change that and really bring in developers that can provide affordable housing to those that maybe cannot afford it. And one other thing I may consider as well, working with these developers so we can establish a rent cap. That's something I would entertain as well, just to make it, to assure that the hardworking citizens of Palm Bay can find a decent place.
Thank you very much. Mr. Filiberto, do you need me to repeat the question or you have this?
No, I got this. Thank you very much, Dana. Appreciate that. My biggest concern and one of the reasons why I ran is the solicitation process for the city of Palm Bay. I believe strongly in buying local and hire local. And if we continue to award RFPs to local businesses, those local businesses will hire Palm Baynians to do the work for them. They will buy local equipment from Palm Bay businesses. And that will solve all the problems that Mr. Felix and Ms. LaFell have. If Palm Bay people have jobs because Palm Bay is awarding RFPs to Palm Bay businesses, the cycle goes around and it stays in Palm Bay. We stimulate Palm Bay's economy by providing businesses with the solicitation that Palm Bay needs. Thank you, Dana.
Very nice. Thank you. Okay. This question came up quite a bit, actually. So do you believe we should review the city charter? And if so, what would you like to change? If we could start with Mr. Felix, please.
Dana, my experience goes back as a former commissioner of that very charter back in 2016. Again, that just add to my resume. I'm not going, with prowess like some of us. But what I would do is really one of the item is the process of hiring, like the way we have 3 charter officers. One of the thing I would look at, is when we hire a city manager, for instance, where add more, give council more control as far as add more, council more leverage to add more, instead of the 3 city charter, where council can also have a say so in terms of the deputy city manager as well. That's one aspect. And I would also entertain adding 2 more seats, because our city is growing. That's something I would consider, adding 2 more seats to really fully represent or the population of our city.
Very
That
good.
would be an item for sure.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Filiberto. The charter review, and what would you like to change if you agree with the fact the city might need a charter review?
I do not like opening up the books to the charter. Mistakes we made, like Mr. Felix just said above, adding 2 more council members, having a power mayor format, all that stuff, it does not work. If the wrong people get elected, Palm Bay will be in trouble. If a power mayor gets elected and is ineffective or incompetent, we have no fallback. I do not believe in opening the books to the charter. However, if the public recommends so and council wants to bring that issue up, I will discuss it. It will take a lot of convincing for me to open up the books to the charter. Ultimately, though, it ends up going to a public referendum. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Ms. LaFell.
Yes, I'll be open up to review the charter, and I'd like to add that we should have a Inspector General office at the City Hall. So that will be my goal, to look up to review it and add that into it.
Thank you very much. Okay, last question that I have here, and we'll start with Mr. Filiberto this time. The city currently has an outdated sustainability plan. Do you have any plans to help find funding or update the sustainability plan for Palm Bay?
Yes, sir. The guide that Mr. Felix and Ms. LaFell should go to, and any resident will go to, is the comp plan. Everything you need to know is in the comp plan itself. The comp plan provides guidance. The comp plan provides future insight into the city of Palm Bay. Any question that you have about the Palm Bay and the future of can be found in the comp plan. If we adhere to it, adhere to the rules, and not stray by it, Palm Bay will be in good shape. But unfortunately, members such as members on the Planning and Zoning Board and members on the Oversight Committee for Infrastructure continue to violate the comp plan. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Ms. LaFell, your thoughts on the outdated sustainability plan and the future of Palm Bay?
At this moment, I don't have a thought. I'll have to look into it some more.
Very fair. Mr. Felix.
I tell you what, I'm not as well versed as Mr. Filiberto, but I tell you what, I believe in working. I believe in getting down and dirty. Yes, we need to really move forward, look at it, revise it, whatever we need to do, because really, as we can't, sit there and plan for today. Palm Bay has the potential to be the city of the future. We need to act like it. One of the things we're talking about sustainability is that within 10 years, I'd love to see every single government building in the city are self-sufficient in terms of energy. So we're talking about tangibles here. I believe in working. I don't just meet with directors and so, talk to a councilman or city manager and do a whole lot of nothing. I've been at work. So yeah, this is the tangible plan. Yeah, all city government building to be self-sufficient. Should be no reason we can do it.
Thank you, Mr. Felix. That's my last question this evening. I thank you folks very much.
Thank you, Dana. Enjoy that cigar.
I am back. How you guys doing? Are you ready for this closing round? This is going to be an easy one. I'm going to start with, they say ladies first. So Ms. Erikia, you're going to be first. It's going to be very easy. I want you to tell the audience, Palm Bay, and tell them why you should be elected the next city council member for C2. And then likewise, Mr. Roberto and Mr. Felix, each will have 2 minutes for these closing remarks and bring it home. Tell us.
I should be elected. I should earn your vote because I'm somebody just like you. I understand your struggle. I understand your hardship. I understand everything that you're going through right now. If it's unemployment, I understand it because we're going through it. If it's debating whether or not to send your kids back to school, I understand it because we're going through it. I'm a citizen just like you. I will represent you. I will be honest. I will be forthcoming. I will be the advocate for the voiceless. So if you want somebody real to represent you, I am that person. So on August 18, 2020, vote for Erikia Rafael for Palm Bay City Council C2 because I am the change.
Okay. Okay, come on.
All right, Roberto.
Thank you, Kevin. Simply put, I have dreams for the city of Palm Bay. A dream to implement core unit development to stop stripping our services, especially police and fire. A dream about our waste stream process, where beginning a resource recovery plan where 90% of our waste will generate 10% of our energy. A dream for better transportation system where young adults can be transported to parks and recreation facilities. A dream to make Palm Bay truly a city for the people. Naysayers will call these pipe dreams, but I know of a man who had dreams for our city. Dreams of a Palm Bay owned utility business. Dreams of 4-laning Babcock Street and Port Malabar Boulevard. Building a Palm Bay interchange. Acquiring a 200-acre park for Palm Bay residents. The list goes on and on. Dreams do come true. Together, we can accomplish these dreams. Unfortunately, our leadership has failed. Elect me, Pete Filiberto, for Palm Bay City Council. Let's get back to living the American dream. Thank you very much, Kevin. And thank you, audience, as well as candidates.
Mr. Felix.
Again, Donnie Felix here. I have a proving record of a servant leader. I have been doing it for the last 12 years. I stepped in, stepped out, and really serving my community. And to me, this political process I've avoided for a long time. But I do realize in order for you to impact change, must start with you, and you have to position yourself to impact change. All I'm asking is that you go out on August 18th, vote Donnie Felix. All I'm going to continue doing is serving this community. I have been doing for the last 12 years, faithfully. To me, title doesn't matter to me. I just want to serve. I want to serve you with integrity and character, and my experience speak for itself. My experience speaks for itself. I hope the work that I've put in the last 12 years also speaks for itself. So please elect me on August 18. I will serve you with integrity. Thank you so much, Kevin. Thank you, audience. Mr. Filiberto, we buddies. It's all good. I think you're a decent man, Miss Lafayette. I think you're a decent lady that cares. You want to serve as well. We'll see each other at the ballot box. Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay, awesome. It was a great night of debating. We had some technical issues with Mr. White's situation, and we are going to try to make amends and correct that. So we're going to work on that. So I apologize for those technical difficulties that we had. She could not get the first stage. So I'm going to take ownership of that problem, and we're going to try to rectify that. We'll post the questions online. Hopefully she'll be able to answer them appropriately and on whatever platform we post them on. So we'll get that done, and I'll try to reestablish connection with her and try to make amends where that is concerned. I apologize for the connection. I'm not sure why we could not hear her, and but we'll make that correction then. So hopefully you guys had a good night tonight, and
good luck, everybody.
Good luck, everybody. And we'll see
Dana,
you.
Michelle, Peori, thank you both. Thank you all three very much.
Thank you.
Thanks for participating. Have a good night, Palm Bay.
Thank you.
Thanks all.